Welcome back. In the last video, we looked at a figure where one side's been kind of rotated or flipped around and found the scale factor, making sure to find matching parts. And then we used that to set up proportions, to find missing sides. And then we remembered that the angles we don't have to set up proportions for because the angles are always congruent. The sides are always proportional when we're working with similar figures. Okay, and then I told you in this next video we would look at perimeters of similar polygons. So when we're looking at perimeters of similar polygons, I'll kind of bold this for myself when I look back at my notes. Perimeter of similar polygons, if two polygons are similar, then their perimeters are proportional to the scale factor. So that means they're going to reduce. If I set up one perimeter to the other perimeter, it's also going to reduce to that same scale factor that my sides reduce to. So if I know the perimeter of one shape and the perimeter of the second shape, when I do the first one to the second one, it's still going to reduce to this exact same scale factor that the sides reduce to. Okay? So let's see how we can use that. So I have quadrilateral KLMN is similar to quadrilateral PQRS, and I want to find the perimeter of quadrilateral PQRS. Okay? So when I look at this, I could set up proportions and find my missing sides. Now if I look KLMN, so it starts in the upper left corner and goes around clockwise, and then PQRS, PQRS. So my figures are sitting in the exact same space, so I can tell that 8 is going to match with 20. So I could do 8 over 20, find my scale factor. I'm going to put my arrow so I don't forget. I'm going to do 8 over 20, so I'm going to put the 8 on top and the 20 on the bottom. And then I'm going to reduce that. Let's see, 4 goes into 8 2 times, and 4 goes into 25 times. And again, we could have reduced by 2, right? They're both even, so I could have done 4/10, but then I would have reduced by 2 again to get 2/5. This is my scale factor. So I could use this scale factor and I could do 6 to QR equals 2/5 and find QR, 6 to PS. And then I could do 12 to SR equals 2/5 and find out how long this piece is, and then 12 to QR equals 2/5 and find out how long this piece is. Add all 4 pieces together and that would give me my perimeter. But that means I have to do a proportion for PS, a proportion for SR, and a proportion for RQ before I can add the 4 sides together. But since my perimeters will also reduce to the same scale factor, 2/5, I can eliminate all of those steps and only have to do 1 if I know all the sides of 1, because this one is easy to find the perimeter. My perimeter here is going to be 8 plus 6 plus 12 plus 12, right? Add the sides together to find my perimeter, which is going to give me 38. Okay, so if my perimeter there is 38, then I want to find my perimeter for this one. I'm going to go ahead and call it X because I don't know what it is. And I don't want to use P because I don't want to get confused on which perimeter I'm working with. Okay, all right, so perimeter is 38, perimeter is X. I can set up a proportion with my perimeters, and it's going to reduce to the scale factor 2/5. Make sure you look at your arrows. I want the 38 on top, and I want the X on the bottom, and I know that's going to reduce to 2/5. Okay? All right, so now I just need to cross multiply. So I'm going to do 2 times X and 5 times 38. Two times X is 2X. 5 times 38 is 190. I'm going to divide both sides by 2 so that I get 1X equals 95. So my perimeter of triangle or of quadrilateral, PQRS, is equal to 95, and I don't have any units on any of these, so I'm just going to say units for my perimeter. Okay, so I only had to set up the one proportion to solve this, whereas I could have set up 3 different proportions and then added my 4 sides together to find my answer. Okay? All right, let's look at the next example. It says a large cement rectangle is being poured for a courtyard in place of a smaller one. The courtyard will be 20 feet wide and 25 feet long. The old courtyard was similar in shape, but only 16 feet wide. Find the scale factor of the new courtyard to the old courtyard. Okay, so my new courtyard is going to be, it says, 20 feet wide and 25 feet long. This is going to be my new courtyard. My old courtyard was only 16 feet wide, so that means if this one was 20, that means it was a little smaller. My old courtyard was 16 feet wide, and they don't give me the length. Okay? First thing it wants me to do is find the scale factor of the new courtyard to the old courtyard. So I'm going to pay attention that it says the new courtyard to the old courtyard. So that means my new is going to go on top and my old is going to go on the bottom. The only number I have from the old is the wide, or the width, so that has to go with the width for this one. So I'm going to do 20 to 16, and 20 to 16 is going to reduce to 5/4. So that is going to be my scale factor. Okay? And then the last question that I have today is to find the perimeters of the new courtyard and the old courtyard. The new one's easy because it's 25 by 20, 25, 20 because it's a rectangle. So the perimeter of my new courtyard is 25 plus 20 plus 25 plus 20, which is 90, and these are all feet. So my perimeter for this one was 90, and then if I want to find the perimeter of this one, well, I know that my perimeters are going to reduce to the same scale factor, right? So my new perimeter is going to go on top. That's going to be the 90. My old perimeter is going to go on the bottom. I'm going to put an X, and I know that's going to reduce to 5/4. So now all I need to do is cross multiply. So when I do that, I'm going to end up with 5 times X is equal to 90 times 4. 5 times X is 5X. 90 times 4 is 360. When I divide that by 5, division, property of equality, I get 1x equals 72. So x is the perimeter of the old, so my perimeter of the old courtyard was only 72 feet. So this is handy because let's say you had fencing around the courtyard and you're going to use, like, keep the old fencing, just like move it, and you wanted to buy enough extra fencing to put around the new one, right? We know we could just subtract the 90 minus 72 to see how much more fencing we would need to buy if I can still use the old fencing and just move it. Okay? All right, so hopefully that is helpful with the perimeters. If you have any questions of any of this information that we've done in today's lessons, please make sure you stay during tutoring after sync time and ask your teacher. Thank you so much for watching.